We're going to begin on our backs. We need our anti-burst ball, and we're going to place it under our sacrum. Lying supine, we'll elevate our pelvis by lifting into a glute bridge. Once the ball is under the sacrum, bring your pointer fingers to the bony protrusions of your hips. I want you to inhale and exhale. See if you can arch your low back over the ball, tipping it down, reaching it towards the heels. And then inhale it back to a neutral position. Not to where you're rounding it, but just to where it's no longer in that extension. And then exhale, allow your abs to initiate the pull of your pelvis down into extension, and inhale it back to neutral, pulling the hips towards the heels as you go to neutral. There it is. Exhale, inner thighs help you pull the pelvis down. Inhale, pelvis comes back up. And last time, exhale and inhale. Okay, we're going to do what I call tick-tock. So you're going to tick your hips side to side. So imagine your pelvis is a clock. You can close your eyes or keep them open. And you're going to tip the hips using your abs, bracing them towards 3 o'clock. And then bring them back to center. And then you're going to tip them to 9 o'clock. And center. And notice if there's gripping happening in the legs, the quads, the hip flexors. See if you can do this movement from your core by lifting up on those muscles. It helps to do your Ujjayi ocean breath as you go down and pick the pelvis up on your inhale. So go at a tempo that feels nice for your body right now, being conscious of the chin falling towards the chest. Keep some space between the chin and chest. Think about the breastbone, sternum, front ribs melting in towards the back body. Press the mid back and upper back into the floor, imprinting it. And we're still doing those tick-tocks. We can't open that QL enough. It's very tight. We want to get into all those areas, creating more space to improve and enhance sports performance and prevent injuries. From here, inhale your pelvis up into the air once you've centered it. Sliding that ball out, you can place the ball under your head if you have very tight hamstrings. Let's grab your second to heaviest Theraband. And we're going to bring our dominant leg slowly up in the air, wrapping the band around the metatarsals, dorsiflexing the foot. I want you to hold the band in the opposite hand as the leg. So hold it and then take the other hand to the hip and see if you can push the pelvis down towards the leg that's extended out long. Arching the low back, tip it down. Slide that hand that's on the hip under the low back. Is there some space between the low back and the floor? You need to keep that space. So every time you exhale to bring that leg up higher and intensify the stretch, don't crunch and smush your fingers. That's going to be bad on your low back. So decrease range of motion until you can do that with the proper pelvic position. Keeping the foot dorsiflexed. We're breathing here. So this is level 2. We'll be holding our stretches for 2 minutes. And as the levels progress, we progress by 30 seconds. So it's a slower progression. If you find yourself in pain, remember to use your breath to not sit into the joints, but to stretch the muscles. So the energy lines of the body, right here, you can think about inhaling and your pelvis pulling in front of you towards that leg that's extended. On your exhale, you can think about the inner thighs pulling towards the floor. You'll feel that push-pull, and then you can keep checking in with your back to make sure we're maintaining good position here. You have 40 seconds. If you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't handle 40 seconds, then bend the knee a little bit, come out of it, take a little break. But if you can handle it, bring it back up. Or maybe you lower on your exhale and you lift it back up on your inhale and you keep it active. Whatever your body will allow you to do without straining. Stretching should not feel like pain or straining. It needs to feel like you're opening up muscles that are tight without aggravating or tearing anything in the process. So slow down. Use your breath. All right, slowly bend the knee and let's set up on the other side. So as you're doing it, as you take the leg up, remember we're going to hold the band in the opposite hand as that leg, dorsiflexing the foot, using that arm, the outside arm, to guide the pelvis down towards whatever's in front of you, towards the leg extended out long. Both feet are dorsiflexed, and we can use that hand to check the low back. Can you keep that extension? Tip the tailbone down. Pull the lower abdominals in. Plug your shoulders down. Think about your shoulder blades even here. Can you kind of pull them together, opening up the front of the shoulders and the anterior delts? So many things to think about, checkpoints, and hopefully that will allow you to not sit into your joints. Another good way to get into those hamstrings is to squeeze the front of your thigh. And as you do that, that'll help open up those hamstrings even more. Watch out for locking out in the knees if you have a little bow-leggedness. Keeps a soft bend in the knees. Come back and check that low back. And remember, there's always the option to bend the knee, exhale, straighten the leg, inhale. If you're feeling any discomfort in your back, make sure the lower abdominals are in, that you're pulling in and up on the muscles that stop your stream of pee. And you don't even have to think about how you do that if you are breathing correctly. So if you're doing that Darth Vader, fog of mirror, ujjayi, ocean breath, where you're constricting your vocal cords, you will be lifting the pelvic floor muscles in and up, as long as you're not pushing the belly out. So you do have to pull the navel in and then give me that ocean sound. 5 more seconds here. And let's slowly bend the knee, and we will set this band to the side. We are going to move into a supine twist. What I'd like is we're going to do a double leg supine twist. You may need a bolster or blocks to put under your knees if they don't touch the ground. 2 options. You can put the ball, the small anti-burst ball, between the knees and take them into the twist, or you can keep the knees together, adducted together. Either way, we're going to twist away from your dominant side first. And once you've done that, the arms open out to a T, palms can be up or down. So knees windshield wiper all the way to the floor into that supine twist. And then you turn your head away from the knees. So the knees are bent, pointing up to the ceiling, and you've twisted and you've taken them to whatever side is not your dominant side. So you're twisting away from your dominant side, turning your head in opposition. You have to put a block or bolster under the knees so they can rest down. And we're going to breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. And even here, the pelvis pulls towards the feet. On your inhale, the inner thighs pull back on your exhale. Think about your side body. Plug your shoulders down. Keep your chin lifted. Belly pulled in towards the spine. And let's breathe together. We'll do a 3 count. Inhale, 2, 3. Inhale through the nose or mouth. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, 2, 3. Deepen your stretch. 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3. Inhale the legs up. Let's take them to the other side. Brace your abs as they lowered on to the other side. Tip your tailbone back. Create some lumbar extension. Brace your lower abs. And let's try a 4 count breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and inhale. Exhale. Inhale through the nose or mouth. And ujjayi breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, pelvic floor muscles lift in and up. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring the legs back to center. Exhale, plant the feet on the floor, taking the ball out to the side. From here, we're going to do a piriformis stretch. If your outer hip is very tight, you can place the ball under your head. Grab your second to heaviest loop band. You're going to take that loop band and we'll start by putting it around your non-dominant leg's thigh. So you're going to take it and bring it to the thigh. And then from there, you're going to hold it with both hands and pull that leg up to knee flexion. You may actually have to lower it because you're going to cross the other leg into your piriformis stretch. So you're bringing your dominant foot to the non-dominant leg's thigh, dorsiflexing it. And now we have this band to help us pull and lift into the stretch. So once you're in the stretch, I want the elbow, I want you to hold the hands on the loop band with one hand and take your hand, the same hand as your top leg, and use the elbow to open that thigh out to the side. Try to stay up. If you need to lower and lift because it's too much, that's okay. But check your pelvic position just like with the hamstrings here. Can you keep some extension? Dorsiflex both feet. Brace your abs. This will be very important here. And let's breathe. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inhale, slowly releasing that. Let's switch sides. Setting up on the other side. Now that you know what you're doing, make sure you tip your tailbone down. We really want to combat that flexion in the pelvis that's so prevalent. Watch out for the shoulders rounding forward. Think about pulling the shoulders back as if you were crunching a pencil between your shoulder blades. Try to hold that pencil between the shoulder blades even when you're lying supine. So remember, the same hand as the bottom leg is holding that loop band. The same arm as the top leg is opening that thigh, pushing out on the inner thigh to open that piriformis glute med hip area where you're so tight. Take the hand that's pushing out on the top leg's thigh to the low back. Check your pelvic position. Are you maintaining some extension? Tip your tailbone down. If not, decrease range of motion. Dorsiflex your feet. And now let's breathe. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. I'm going to call out some cues. Plug your shoulders down. Keep your collarbone wide. Imprint your shoulder blades into the floor, the backs of the shoulders by pulling the shoulder blades together. Reach the tailbone to whatever's in front of you. Really dorsiflex the feet. Every exhale, your belly's in, and you're giving me that Darth Vader breath. Counting you down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's slowly make our way out of our pretzel stretch. We're going to move into some calf foam rolling. So you can use your foam roller, which will look like this. And we're going to start with your dominant leg, coming up to a seated position. Hands can either face the buttocks behind you, or they can be out to the side. One leg at a time, starting with your dominant leg. Dorsiflex both feet as you're doing this. Make sure the fingertips are either facing your butt or out to the side so we don't pull on the joints of the elbow. So you're getting into the fascia. Focus on centrally getting into the calf. That gastric can get really tight. Another option, if you have a trigger ball, is to do the same thing. but seated with the trigger ball. Now it's very easy here to round your low back. I want you to really brace your abs and fight for some extension even here. It takes a lot of lift from the lower abs. So this is extremely active, and you should be breathing and you should be sweating because this is intense. This is as intense as a workout because technically you're doing a crab walk and you're releasing one of the tightest areas of your body. That's a lot. Let's breathe together here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's make our way to the other side. Now, as we're rolling this side, since we'll be here for 2 minutes, if you find that you get rid of all the knots because this is your non-dominant side, feel free to go back to your dominant side. It may need more attention than we just gave it. Begin when you're ready, remembering that it's important to brace your abs, use your lower pelvic floor. We're getting a great workout for the upper body here as well. Find that shoulder blade retraction. Pull the shoulder blades together. Watch out for the head falling forward because it's going to be checking out what's happening with the calves. But it doesn't need to. You can feel it. You can feel your way through it. You know where your legs are. Dorsiflex the feet. Inhaling. And make sure you're exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. You can internally or externally rotate the leg in the hip socket to find fibers that need more attention. We're at the minute mark. We have about a minute left. If you want to go back to your dominant side, you can. If you want to stay on the non-dominant side, feel free. Go wherever you need the most attention. So foam rolling or self-myofascial release helps to stimulate the Golgi tendon organ, which allows the knots. You can kind of think about a rubber band being tied in a knot and then trying to stretch or do strength work with that knot. It doesn't work so well. So what we're doing is we're releasing those knots. They're going to dissipate by the self-myofascial release, and this will increase our range of motion and prevent injury. All good things. You've got 10 seconds. Hear your breath. Inhaling. From here, I'd like you to either rise up on your knees if you don't have sensitive knees. You can take the little small anti-burst ball between your knees. Now, if you have sensitive knees, you can do this standing. And with the ball between the knees, I'd like you to bring your hands at your side. And we're just going to do a little shoulder blade retraction. This will open up the front of the shoulders and it will also strengthen our serratus anterior. So on our inhale, I just like you to feel like I have a hold of your pelvis and I'm pulling it towards the floor. You're getting longer. On your exhale, I want you to retract your shoulder blades, pulling them together, and we're going to hold it for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that retraction. Inhale, pull your pelvis down towards the floor, and exhale, begin again. Retract the shoulder blades. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, release it. And notice you can have your toes tucked under. This will be good to stretch out the tops of the feet to do some more dorsiflexion. Inhale, pull the pelvis down. Exhale, retract for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, soften, and make sure when you relax, you don't round, you don't slip into kyphosis. Still keep the collarbone wide and the sternum soft. Again, exhale, pull the shoulder blades together. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Inhale, get taller by lengthening the pelvis down towards the floor. Plug the shoulders down. Exhale, pull the shoulder blades together. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Again, inhale, pull the pelvis down. Exhale, pull the shoulder blades together. Last time for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, from here, we're going to come over to the wall and we're going to be doing a postural stretch. So facing the wall, I'd like you to bring your foot onto the wall. So your feet are in a staggered stance. We'll start with your dominant foot and you're dorsiflexing it right up against the wall. So foot on the wall, dorsiflexed, and you're facing, hands are chest height on the wall, staggered stance. From here, we'll exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten. So the knee of the leg that's closest to the wall, where the foot's up the wall, dorsiflex, we bend on the exhale, we straighten on the inhale. We bend that knee on the exhale, and we straighten on the inhale. What are we getting into here? We're going to be stretching our shin out. The heel is on the floor. The toes are on the wall. Bend the knee and straighten. Getting into the soleus, getting into the shin, the top of the shin. Inhale and exhale. So this is a pretty intense one. And usually the range of motion is pretty small with flat back posture with this exercise. You really do want your feet to be pretty close together, staggered stance, pelvis right underneath you, focus up higher than eye level, shoulders plugged down the back. And all it is the inner thighs pulled back, but you bend that front knee on your exhale. And then you let up on that, allowing your pelvis to pull down towards the floor on your inhale. Exhale, you bend the front knee. Inhale, you straighten. Exhale and bend. Inhale and straighten. This one is super intense. You're doing great. Exhale, bend. Try to not throw your torso forward or your chin. Don't allow those shoulder blades. You remember the retraction we just did. Keep the shoulder blades retracted. You can even bring one hand to the hip, pulling your pelvis down towards the floor, reminding you to stay grounded. All right, switch sides. Setting up on the other side. Getting into that deep calf muscle, the soleus, the stabilizing muscle. Make sure your pelvis is pushing forward. Your lower pelvic floor muscles are lifting in and up. You're hearing that breath. We inhale and exhale. So the knee is bent on the exhale. The pelvis pulls back to ground us, and we let up on the bending of the knee on the inhale. Keeping the eyes focused a little higher than eye level. Allowing your breastbone to be soft and reaching the breastbone towards the shoulder blades. Pinching the shoulder blades together like you're holding a pencil. And let's breathe together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend the knee. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pelvis pulls down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inner thighs pull back as the knee bends. Inhale through the nose or mouth. Exhale out the mouth. 2, 3, 4. Where's your focus of your eyes? Where's the lift of the pelvic floor? Those muscles that stop your stream of pee. Belly in, collarbone wide. Focus up. Just 10 more seconds. Stay with me. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to get super close to the wall. Feet hip distance apart. Facing the wall, hands chest height. We'll now step our dominant leg back. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart. Most people think it's wider than it really, they step them too wide. I want you to go a little narrower than you think probably. Drive your pelvis forward. Remember to find some extension. So tip your tailbone back a little here. Go ahead and bring the same arm as your back leg to your hip. And you can turn the fingers so they face down towards the heel. Palm facing in, elbow out, retract the shoulder blades, drive the pelvis forward, and breathe here. Inhale, brace your abs, and exhale. Inhale, pushing forward, and exhale. That's it. Keep the core engaged. Think about your pelvis think about it as a bowl, and I want you to try to imagine the bowl is full of cement and it's weighed down. So I want it to reach for the floor every time you inhale. And on the exhale, I want your inner thighs to fight that heavy pelvis with cement in it as it drives forward. So the inner thighs are fighting against that. So you're not pulling your pelvis up as you drive your hips forward. You're keeping it low. Takes a lot of concentration. And as you're doing this, just watch out for that kyphosis. We've worked really hard today with the retraction of the shoulder blades, with the awareness of the back imprinting when we were lying supine. There's also a tendency to overuse the pecs when we start to retract the shoulder blades. So you just have to keep that sternum, breastbone, front ribs soft, and that helps you tremendously. Go ahead and step that leg forward, checking that your legs are hip distance apart and parallel before you step the other leg back. And we'll drive the pelvis forward, keeping our focus up eye level, squaring our pelvis off, pulling the lower abdominal wall in. Let's breathe together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my fingers, notice they're facing down. The thumb, I kind of reached my thumb, and I can barely reach it. Maybe I have small fingers, I don't know. I can barely reach the bony protrusion of my hip with the thumb, with my fingers all together and them facing and pointing down towards my feet. And this action allows you to pull the shoulder blade back a little easier than if you turn your hand in and your thumb is behind you and your fingers are forward on your hip. That closes the shoulder. So try playing around with this as you're grounding yourself, just so that we can also work the upper back efficiently. Even when we're stretching, this is important. So our inhale, we're feeling like that pelvis, that bowl of cement is pulling down. On the exhale, the inner thighs pull back as that bowl drives forward towards the wall, intensifying the stretch in the gastrocnemius. Keep breathing. Inhale, bracing the abs, and exhale. You're doing great. Just 20 seconds. This is the dominant side, so we've got to give it extra attention. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ground yourself. Go deeper into the stretch. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, step forward. From here, I'd like you to face the wall. You're going to bring your dominant arm into a T with your legs hip distance apart. And you're going to twist away from this arm, stretching out your pec major here. Make sure your knees are soft, feet are hip distance apart. Bring the outside hand to your hip, guiding your pelvis down. And just breathe into this stretch. So 2 options. You can have it in what looks like a cactus, or you can have it straight behind you in a T, and you're twisting away. So you would be on the inside of the thumb if you're in the T, or you'd be on the outside of the baby finger and the wrist and the hand if you're in that cactus. Either way, you're going to get into that pec major. So breathe here. I like to use each exhale as a chance to twist a little further, but I remind myself to ground on the inhale, twist on the exhale. Close your eyes here. Let's breathe together. We're going to see if we can do a 6-count breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2. You can close the eyes, relax the mind. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plug the shoulders down. Keep the chin lifted. One more set. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brace your abs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn and face the wall. Set up on your non-dominant side. 2 more stretches. You have done such great work, and flat back posture flexibility is very, very important. And it's the most important thing for you for injury prevention. And you are the posture that has the most flexibility issues. So I'd like you to be doing flexibility work every day if possible, maybe 10 minutes every day, or maybe you do these focused 30-minute sessions 2 times to 3 times a week. You're going to notice a huge difference in your range of motion, and we're working to prevent injuries more than anything. So if you have hyperextension in your elbows, just make sure you're softly bending the elbow as you're doing the stretch. And watch out for your pelvic position. Are you rounding that low back here? Bend your knees. I want you to find cow position. So if you're doing cat and cow, that's where the tailbone is up and your upper back is extended a little. Shoulder blades are together. So we always want to find that position standing. No angry cat position. No tucking the pelvis under and rounding. It's going to lead to more forward leaning and more flexibility issues. All right, let's breathe together. Let's stick with that 6 count because that's quite a challenge for some people. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bend those knees. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure you're not too close to the wall to where you're pushing into the elbow joint. You need a soft bend in the elbows or the elbow that's up there. Plug the shoulders down. And now really tip your tailbone back. Bring that outside hand to the hip. Arch that low back. Arch it. Brace the abs. The pelvis should move back from the initiation of the lower pelvic floor, pulling in and up. From here, let's make our way against the wall, with our back against the wall, with cactus arms for an imprint. So we're going to bring our elbows up as high as our shoulders. Elbows up as high as the shoulders. And your feet are probably about a foot from the wall, which is fine. I want you to focus on your upper back pressing into the wall. Watch out for dropping the head forward. Good. Close the eyes. Inhale. Press the back body into the wall. Exhale. Inhale. And if at any time you're really fatiguing, you can always keep your tailbone connected to the wall and round your upper back forward and relax those upper back muscles for a bit. But try to stick with this. This is opening the anterior delt and pec minor, and it's building strength in your upper back extensors. So forearms, back of arms, shoulders, upper back, press them into the wall. If you feel your ribs spraying forward, guide your breastbone, sternum, and front ribs towards the back body. Imprint the back body. Check your pelvic position even here. You can take one hand down to the low back. See if you have a little space. You want a little space. That's good. Abs are in though. Pelvis reaches down towards the floor on your inhale. Inner thighs pull towards the wall on your exhale. You're standing up nice and tall. Equal weight on all metatarsals. Weight in the heels. Soft knees. Tailbone on the wall. Upper back pressing in 15 seconds. Stay with me. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stepping away from the wall slowly, bringing those arms down, standing center, roll the shoulders back with a soft bend in the knees for 5 and 4. 3, relaxing the chest, relaxing the facial muscles, relaxing the mind. 2 and 1. Inhale those arms up and exhale them down. One more time. Inhale the arms up. Inhale. Ujjayi breath. Great job.